Green shaking is what happens when wellness culture takes a perfectly innocent leafy vegetable and turns it into a symbol of moral superiority, emotional stability, and biochemical enlightenment. It's no longer enough to eat your greens. Now you must pulverize them into every meal like you're trying to exorcise flavor and joy from your life. This is not about nutrition. This is about purity and also about drinking something that looks and smells like the bottom of a lawnmower bag. At the heart of green shaking is the belief that kale, raw, chopped, juiced, blended, infused, or dried into powder, is the secret to eternal youth, spiritual transcendence, and most importantly, being slightly better than everyone around you. Green shakers aren't just health conscious. They're kale-pilled. They've reached a point where they genuinely believe chlorophyll can fix trauma. Your parents divorced? Add kale. Lost your job? Wheatgrass. Dating someone who says crypto is the future? Double spirulina. This movement has turned the blender into a shrine. Every morning begins with a sacred ritual: a banana for sweetness, half a cucumber for hydration, 3 cups of kale for detox, and a scoop of mystery green powder with a name like Biozilla or Gut Saint. The result is a semi-liquid potion that smells like damp moss and tastes like the idea of regret. But it's healthy. You can tell because it burns slightly going down and makes you question your life choices. And it doesn't stop at smoothies. These people are adding kale to pasta sauce, oatmeal, scrambled eggs, popsicles, coffee foam, and once even a wedding cake. If it has a surface, someone's greening it. There are now recipes circulating online for spirulina lasagna. That's not wellness. That's war. The green shaking cult thrives on exaggeration. 1 green juice is good, so 5 must be divine. These are people who treat nutrition like a punishment and eat salad for breakfast not because it tastes good, but because it sparks cellular gratitude. They've internalized the idea that if it isn't bitter, fibrous, or vaguely swamp-adjacent, it can't be healthy. This explains why every time you ask them how they are, they say, a little bloated, and yet proceed to drink a liter of blended cabbage with chlorella and bee pollen. And, of course, they're not just doing this for themselves. They're evangelists. They want you to feel shame for eating toast without spirulina butter. You'll be minding your own business, enjoying a sandwich like a balanced adult, when they lean in and say, adding morena would really elevate the nutrient profile. What they mean is, I am spiritually superior and your mitochondria are crying. It's also deeply expensive. Green shakers will spend half their paycheck on superfood powders with branding that looks like a pharmaceutical company married a moon cult. These jars of powdered kale and algae are sold as elixirs of vitality, despite tasting like hay soaked in pond water. But don't worry, it's worth it because you're feeding your microbiome a diverse ecosystem. Your microbiome, by the way, is currently screaming for bread. What no one talks about is the psychological toll. After a few months of green shaking, people start to develop what can only be described as lettuce PTSD. They flinch when they see a green smoothie. They're haunted by the ghost of unchid kale. They don't remember what joy tastes like, but they know it's beige. And if you think this is all just clean eating taken too far, think again. Green shaking isn't just a diet, it's a belief system. It's not about feeling good anymore, it's about deserving to feel good, after suffering through the bitter, slimy ritual of plant penance 3 times a day. Somewhere, deep in their gut, these people believe that if they just add 1 more leaf of dandelion to their spirulina broccoli celery lime shot, they'll finally achieve enlightenment, or at least clear up their skin. But here's the thing, health isn't about making your meals taste like compost tea. You can eat a vegetable without blitzing it into goo. You can be well without building a personality out of kale. And you can admit out loud that not everything green has to be liquefied and consumed with a grimace and a false smile. Because if you're choking down another mug of blended romaine with activated parsley and muttering, yum, through tears, you're not thriving. You're just greenwashed.